All right. Brendan Kawahu, 9/22, 2017. I'm going to set that right there. Well, I'll set it here so you can kind of see it. And I'm going to do a dissection of a chicken wing. Now, I did this last night, but forgot to record it while I was doing it. So here I am back again doing the same thing. For this procedure, I'm going to use my just traditional 23 blade, scalpel, pair of surgical forceps with the little teeth on the end there. That way I can actually pull things apart, and just some scissors. Have my chicken wing here. I'm going to start by just very basically just cutting off the skin. So for this, pretty simple. All you want to do is just stretch it out into the flexion position first. The skin on the chicken wing is it's very tough to manipulate and to work with. It's already coming apart. I warmed it up a little bit under hot water, so all you want to do now is just cut off basic bits of the skin first. There's a lot of it, so it takes a while. So just bear with me here. I have a little plate also that I put the chicken wing on, and I'm just going to put the fat and extra tissue and everything that I take off of the chicken wing. I'm just going to set it on the plate as we go along. That way it kind of gets out of the way. Now obviously you want to be careful when handling a scalpel, always, because this is literally the instrument of a surgeon. Therefore it can cut right through skin. This one, obviously for students, not that sharp, but still sharp enough to cut through skin. So like I just made my quick little incision there. I mean, it can come off. So what you want to do is you want to make just one incision using a decent amount of pressure, but not too much that you cut through the muscles and things of the chicken wing itself. Kind of manipulate the skin a little bit, so you want to pull as much of it back as you can. You absolutely should be wearing surgical goggles for this, but I'm not. So what I like to do is just continue to pull the skin back as I'm working. And there's all these little connective tissues in here. So you want to be able to get a good enough grip on the skin with your surgical forceps to pull the skin back and actually disconnect it from the wing muscle itself. So this is the bicep we're working here. Very similar, in fact, to a human bicep. So what I like to do is I like to make my one cross incision and then actually cut down across right here at the joint of the wing itself. And just slowly cut it away. It's not really that difficult to cut away. And it's coming along very easily. I got to tell you, it's a lot easier the second time you do it than it is the first time. Because this first time you do it, you don't really know what you're doing. The second time you do it, you've already done it, you have your practice and everything, and you kind of a little bit know what you're doing. So like, for example, I'll show you this. The muscle's already exposed there, the bicep muscle. So it's pretty neat. So once I've made that cross incision there, I'm going to come down here right above right below my incision, just proximal to the elbow here, and I'm going to make another incision, small incision down here. And just continue to slowly cut away at it. For the most part, you can get most of the skin away, most of the skin and a lot of the fatty tissues away with your scalpel. Very beautiful cuts. Don't be afraid, obviously, to cut deeply, but I think that's where part of the talent of actually doing surgery, doing any sort of dissection comes in, is that you have to cut it hard enough to break that top layer of skin away, but you can't cut it too hard, so hard as to actually cut the muscle away. So that's done now, and you can see the muscle is completely exposed. Not enough yet to see the ligaments. I'm just going to continue to cut away here. Now I've already done the complete dissection, so I'm not going to do the whole thing again, but I am just going to cut enough of the skin away for us to be able to see the hinge joint of the elbow. I'm also going to reveal a little bit of the ligaments. I'll try to manipulate the ligament a little bit, although I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see with most of the skin still on it. Now, as I said, you want to be sure to handle this surgical instrument with extreme care, because that's exactly what it is. It is a surgical instrument. It's a scalpel, though it's not necessarily surgical grade. It is still sharp enough to cut through skin. So if this is doing this to chicken that I can imagine has been dead for maybe about 3 weeks to a month, imagine what it would do to tissue that's still alive, still has blood pushing through it, and still has sort of that circulation. You always want to try and cut away from you if you can, but if you can't, obviously you want to cut toward you in these long sort of beautiful strokes here, and just continue to cut the skin and fat away. Make sure to scoop it off of your forceps as you go, that way you don't have a lot of buildup. That's fine there. I'm going to make an incision here, just proximal to the shoulder joint itself. Just continue to cut that away. Oh, and interestingly enough, we have a little bit of blood here. So now that I'm talking about blood, there it is. So there you go. You just want to reveal that muscle, beautiful muscle there. It's nice and squishy, because that's kind of what the muscle is. So just continue to cut away some of that extra skin here and those connective tissues that connect the skin to the muscle itself. And these scissors cut beautifully too. And I don't think I'd be able to do this procedure without these forceps that have the little teeth on them. I realize I'm running a little bit over time here, but I'm going to continue to make these nice, beautiful incisions here, long cuts, and you can kind of see when you push on the elbow a little bit, it pushes the wing out. Really sort of a neat sensation there. I'm just going to continue to cut this skin away, cut a lot of this meat away, just to reveal that nice, beautiful hinge joint here at the elbow, which is, of course, connected through a series of ligaments in itself. I'm just going to continue to cut this away. Beautiful incisions here. I think I missed my calling. Very nice. Never too late, I guess. I'm only 25. So, let's see here. Can't really see a whole lot, but that's really what I wanted to reveal there, was that hinge joint there in the elbow. Now, this is very similar to a human elbow in that it moves in a similar fashion. So if you can imagine a wing, obviously, a wing being an arm, this is similar to the elbow here. Now we have the ball socket joint up here, which this is the ball of the ball socket joint anyway, because the socket is somewhere in a chicken that I didn't buy the pieces to. But that's your hinge joint there. And it moves really, really beautifully independently from the rest of the arm, because that's sort of what the elbow is here. I'm going to actually cut this right here as a little bit of a ligament. I'm going to try and reveal a little bit more of the actual bone structure itself. cut a lot of this away. Pick at that a little bit, and actually I've cut enough of it away now that you can sort of see this ligament here. Let's see. This is it here. The lighting's not great, I'll admit, but that's the ligament there that moves the rest of the arm. And then, of course, we have another ball socket joint down here in what would be, I guess, on a human, that would be the metacarpals, would be that right there. This is essentially the hand of the chicken that I have my index and middle fingers on here. That would be the metacarpals. That would be the hinge of the elbow, and then, of course, the ball socket of the shoulder. I think that's it for this week. I hope that's it anyway. So, we're done with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. I'm going to clean this up because it smells terrible. It is old chicken after all. And I'm going to clean this up because this is salmonella waiting to happen. So have a good week.